A big first inning and a strong start from Scott Kazmir puts the Tribe in position for their sixth four-game sweep of the season today against the Astros. The Indians remain a half game up in the wild card race and look to keep rolling behind Corey Kluber. The Tribe's trek toward the postseason starts next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, it's Indians baseball today. The Indians try to sweep the Houston Astros and keep rolling toward October. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. The last time the Indians swept at least a four-game series 6 times during the season was 1954, and they've got a great opportunity here today because they jumped on the Astros early last night and let Scott Kazmir just cruise.
Well, I'll tell you what, when Michael Bourne sets the table, good things happen, and they have a good recipe when they score first. 63-24 on the year when they can score first, and Brantley, his calling card, a 2-out base hit. It happened to be a 2-run homer last night, and you can see they sit a half a game behind Tampa Bay for the lead wild card spot and a half a game ahead of Texas in the second wild card spot.
So that's the way it sets up here today. Of course, Tampa Bay will be playing Baltimore. Texas will be playing Kansas City. We'll keep an eye on those games throughout the afternoon as the Tribe tries to continue their dominance over the American League West this year. They've gone 24-8 against the Western Division. Corey Kluber on the hill. The Bats, will they stay hot? We'll find out next on Sports Time Ohio. Welcome into Progressive Field. Indians winners in 8 of their last 10. They're a season-high 15 games over 500. Let's take a look at the Houston Astros starting lineup for Bo Porter today. Houston has lost 8 straight. Jonathan Villar will lead it off. Jose Altuve bats second. Mark Cross third. Chris Carter is hitting 4 straight for the Stros. He bats cleanup. Then Matt Dominguez, followed by Trevor Crow. L.J. Hose, Carlos Corcoran, and Brandon Barnes round it out. Corey Kluber looking for his 10th win of the year. And his first pitch a little bit outside, ball one. 59 degrees, our game time temperature.
Welcome to autumn.
Up and away. 2 balls, no strikes. And Kluber finds the strike zone. It's 2-1. Belt high, a called strike. It's 2-2.
This is only his 4th start since coming off the disabled list on September 7th. So he has been battling some mechanics issues early in the game.
Line into left field, a base hit. And VR is aboard with just his 2nd hit in the series.
Let's check out the Kia Indians defense behind Kluber this afternoon. Brantley is in left, Bourne in center, Rayburn is in right. Aviles at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis at second, Swisher at first with Gomes behind the plate. Kluber on the mound, making his 23rd start. 9-5 record. That one relief pitch outing did come against the Houston Astros back on April 20th, where he got the win. He pitched 4 innings, gave up a couple of hits.
Runner goes. Called strike, throw down. Got him. Yan Gomes continues to throw him out.
Well, VR wasted no time, and Gomes made a very good throw because he had a good jump. This is going to be our McDonald's. I'm loving it. Watch this throw. The jump is terrific. But I'm sorry, that quick throw right on the money. He gets him and throws him out. That was close.
VR thought he had the hand in there, but it was a bang-bang play and a perfect throw once again from Gomes. Altuve routine roller to short. And Cabrera throws him out 2 down. And with more on Corey Kluber, and you mentioned him maybe fighting his mechanics a little bit since coming off the DL. Here's Katie with him.
Yeah, he has been, Matt. Mickey Callaway told me today essentially what's happening is he's too quick with his delivery. You'll actually see him throw the ball before his front leg gets down, causing him to open up. Now, the key is for him to be able to stay back longer. If he can do that, you'll see much better command from Corey Kluber.
All right, we'll try to keep an eye on that today as Mark Krause steps in now with 2 down here in the first. Krause, the Astros DH today, has gone 3 for 7 in the series. And it's outside for ball 1. Inside, 2-0. Three balls, no strikes. Gets that one over. And it's now 3-1. 2 down here in the first inning. Full count. Starting with their previous series against Cincinnati, Houston is starting a stretch, or they started a stretch. Their final 13 games all against playoff contenders. Bo Porter looked at that as an opportunity for his club, but so far they've lost their first 6 in a row in that stretch of games. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. Kluber comes back from 3-0 to strike out Kraus. And the inning is over. Jan Gomes throws out VR. Indians off to a good start. Now they're coming to bat. Making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Michael Bourne leads it off. Then it's Nick Swisher, followed by Jason Kipnis. Santana, Rayburn, Cabrera in the middle. Gomes, Brantley, Aviles rounded out. Bedard working quickly, ready to go, and the first pitch in for a called strike. Bourne, 2 for 12 in the series. Started it off yesterday with a double, and that got the Indians rolling in the first inning. Bedard with 2 quick strikes. And he strikes out Bourne, 1 away.
Take a look at the Astros defense behind Bedard today. Crow's in left, Barnes in center, Hose is in right, Dominguez at third, VR at short, Altuve at second, Carter is at first, Corcoran behind the plate.
Up comes Nick Swisher. Nick batting .300 here in the month of September. He's hit 5 home runs and he's driven in a dozen. Lays off a little bit up and away.
For Bedard, this is his second straight start. He did pitch 4 consecutive games out of the bullpen for him. And has made 20. This is his 25th start this year.
Really pulled the string. And Swisher down on the count 1-2. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the 2-2. And that's a called third strike. So Bedard with back-to-back Ks to start the game.
Let's look at the numbers for Eric Bedard on the year. Not very good. 4-11, 460 earned run average. In his last 10 starts, he is 0-8, and Houston is 0-10. He did make a start against the Indians earlier in the year on the 21st. He went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits and a couple of runs. Had a no decision.
Curveball in for a strike. Jason Kipnis, 2 for 11 in the series. Hit the center. Back goes Barnes. And makes the catch. The Indians go 1-2-3. We are scoreless after 1. McDonald's now introducing 3 exciting new Quarter Pounders. And by Kia. We go to the second inning here at Progressive Field. Chris Carter, Matt Dominguez, Trevor Crow will be coming up for Houston. And Carter jumps on the first pitch and sends a towering drive to deep left and onto the home run porch.
Wow.
Chris Carter's second home run of the series, his 29th of the year, and the Astros will play from in front today. They lead it 1-0.
Well, he broke up the shutout last night in the 9th inning off Joe Smith, and I mean that was a towering fly ball there. That shows you the kind of power that this guy has. He can hit him a long way. And he did right there. The 14th home run given up by Kluber. And if you're going to give him up, man. That was a long one, and it was nobody on base. So a solo shot, and Houston takes a 1-0 lead.
Now Matt Dominguez takes a strike. Now Carter, 19 of those home runs on the road. You see there among the league's best. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Carter's the one guy for Houston who has swung the bat well in all 4 games in the series. He's gone 6 now for 11. Dominguez off the end of the bat, going to dump it into left field on an 0-2 pitch. He's got a single here in inning number 2.
Coming on the slider from Kluber. 0-2 pitch. Let's see the location of it. They slide to sit away, and he left it middle of the plate. Even though it was down, it had a little too much of the plate on there for an 0-2 pitch. So they get their third hit.
A team doesn't lose 104 games by accident, and usually there are multiple reasons when things go this badly. But for Houston here of late, they've scored 1 run or less. They've been shut out 6 times in their last 7 games.
Ouch.
And then, of course, they've lost 8 straight. So you can talk about the defense and the pitching, but if you don't score.
We witnessed it last year
no
when
chance.
we made our run through August and into September. They weren't scoring. And, you were figuring if you got down early in a ball game 2 or 3 runs, it seemed like you were out of it. And that's what happens. The Indians last night came back and put 3 on the board in the first, and they just couldn't recoup.
Yeah, the Indians haven't exactly.
Yeah, they haven't hit the cover off
socks
the ball.
off. Yeah, 2-1, 2-1, and last night 4-1.
And in the first 2 games, I think defensively, Houston really helped the Indians get on the board with those 2 runs.
They didn't do themselves any favors, that's for certain.
Well, when you're not scoring offensively, you have to play a perfect baseball game defensively, and you can't give any extra outs. And the minute you do, then you're in trouble.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count here on Trevor Crowe. Combs wants the fastball in. Kluber misses up high, and it's 2-2. Dominguez at first, held there by Swisher. And the 2-2 is strike 3 called. Second strikeout for Kluber, 1 down here in the second. Keys to the game today brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. A win today gives the Indians 6 4-game sweeps on the year.
That's impressive. That's very impressive.
And hopefully Corey Kluber can continue this string of strong starting pitching. And obviously the way the Indians have played this year, you'd like to see him grab the early lead. That didn't happen. But a long way to go.
Well, with that, if they can win with that 6-game of a 4-game winning streak of sweeping the series, this would be the 3rd one from the Western Division. They did Seattle earlier in the year. They got Oakland 1 time. And they got the White Sox 3 times. And the opportunity is here today. Very hard to do when we're talking about a 4-game series to sweep it.
Dominguez back safely at first with 1 down here in the second inning. L.J. HOU, the batter, has gone 2 for 7 in the series.
But he's put up some pretty good at-bats. He has hit the ball hard the opposite way, stays on it.
Missed inside with it. He's a guy that looks like he has a pretty good idea what he's trying to do offensively. Little number, and that's going to go foul. So a 1 ball, 2 strike count, and with 1 on, 1 out here in the second. You mentioned earlier today, the first day of fall. Officially, it arrives at 4:44, but I think it came a little early.
You got the time down to the minute. Attaboy. You're right. I watch the same channel. It is. It feels like it.
Sure does. 59 degrees. A lot of jackets in the crowd for the first time we've seen today.
Then hopefully maybe you'll warm up a little bit in the next few days.
Yeah, I think we're supposed to be near 70 degrees for both Tuesday and Wednesday when the White Sox come to town to wrap up the homestand. Off day tomorrow. 1-2 pitch. A little bit inside again. 2-2. Ooh, that looked awfully good.
Pretty good pitch.
Full count.
This is one that might have come around the plate. They wanted it away, and you can see it's inside. So a lot of times, even if it is a good pitch and you have to shift all the way over to the width of the plate, sometimes it's tough to get that call.
3-2, runner holds. It's fouled back. Again, the payoff pitch. The runner goes. It's popped in the air to right field. In comes Ryan Rayburn. And he'll make the catch, 2 down. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. We mentioned this yesterday. The transformation of the Astros logos over the year. From the Colt 45s to their early days at the Astrodome. Their later days at the Astrodome, and now into the new ballpark. Now they've gone back to sort of their earlier days with the more of the orange and the blue.
Yeah, and all of those years in the National League until this year.
Carlos Corcoran, switch hitting catcher. Takes it inside. 2-0. We're used to seeing Corey Kluber, work from in front. First pitch strikes, get ahead. But maybe with him fighting his mechanics a little bit, that's been the reason that we've seen him fall behind in the count more often.
Well, he's normally a machine where he goes out and throws a lot of strikes. Right now, he's already had 3 2-0 counts, and we're in the second inning. And, I don't know. I've watched him. He digs on that landing foot a couple times in his last few starts when he's done throwing a pitch, and he just doesn't look like it's fluid. I don't know if he's thinking out there. Or it's just not going out there free and easy and throwing. But this is, as I mentioned, only his 4 starts since coming off the DL, but it takes a while to get into a rhythm, and sometimes the quicker you work, the better you get into that rhythm.
Popped him up. Will it stay in play? Over near the dugout, no. It's going to go into the seats. And a light breeze blowing in today from center and right center field, so that's probably going to push most of the pop-ups back out of play around the plate. The Indians down 1-0 early here. Houston batting in the second with a runner at first and 2 down. Kluber ready with a 2-2. Ripped foul. Again, the 2-2. And again, it's popped out of play. So 3 straight foul balls into the seats. And the pitch count piling up for Corey Kluber. He's at 35 now here in inning number 2. Got through the first rather quickly. Another full count.
Tell you what, he's put a good at bat up here. He is seeing the ball well. And we see Kluber a lot of times where he gets a lot of swings and misses, but so far to this point he hasn't.
This will be pitch number 8 in the at-bat. Runner goes. And the bouncer to second base. Jason Kipnis has it and throws him out. The Astros get on the board first on Chris Carter's second home run of the series. Houston 1, Cleveland nothing. On top as we go to the bottom of the second inning.
Halloween's here early.
Carlos Santana to lead off for the Tribe. Santana's batted .306 on the year against left-handed pitching. But so far in this series, the Astros have had his number. He's gone just 1 for 11. Found that back. It's 0-2. That pitch floated in there at 73 miles an hour. As Bedard here in the early going really making an effort to slow things down. And he strikes out Santana on 3 pitches.
No, he hasn't messed around. 3 out of the 4 he has struck out.
Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. Indians looking for their 6th 4-game sweep this year. Last team to do it is 61 Yankees. And the Indians in 54 swept 5 4-game series, and 1 was a 5-gamer. Ryan Rayburn looks at a strike.
Well, Bedard has come out throwing strikes. 12 of the 14 pitches have been in the zone.
It's hit high in the air. Center field. Barnes is back. And the outfielders collide. Barnes hangs on to make the catch, but he and Hose ran into each other. 2 down.
Well, center fielder's ball if he's calling for it. Hose has got to get out of the way. Now, I'm not sure. We're not going to see if they were calling for it or not, but anytime that center fielder can get to a ball and make the play, get out of his way. And obviously he wasn't calling for it. He didn't hear it. Communication, the key out there to being an outfielder. You got to let him know and call it more than once.
Well, 2 down here in the second is Drupal Cabrera. 5 for 11 in the series. Pop back out of play. Cabrera in his last 15 games has 15 hits, including 5 home runs. Indians down 1-0 here in the second. And a bunt attempt goes right back to the screen. So far for Eric Bedard, out of those 18 pitches, 15 have been strikes. Back foot, 2-2. Cabrera pops it foul. That's out of play. Two swung on and missed. Boy, Eric Bedard has fanned 4 of the first 6 batters, and it's 1-0 Houston after 2. One nothing Astros on top as we go to the third inning. Brandon Barnes will lead it off for Houston. Houston got on the board in the second inning on a solo home run by Chris Carter. Showing bunt. That's a fastball strike. Chased one out of the zone, and it's quickly 0-2.
Yeah, Corey could use one of those nice, quick innings of about 10 pitches.
Lays off the letter high fastball. Wow, that looked like awfully close to a strike. He's trying to get that inside corner.
Well, he has one of those. That's like a little cutter he can throw in there that comes back.
Threw it by him. Third strikeout for Kluber. One down here in inning number 3. Our great clip of the game from last night. Scott Kazmir was just dazzling.
Yeah, pinpoint with his fastball, coming back and expanding the zone on his changeup, his breaking ball. Another 10 strikeout performance. Only had 1 walk, so he was really did a nice job.
Yeah, and only 4 hits in the 7 shutout innings that he pitched. VR tried to bunt it, and he just whiffed. He tried to go with the walking drag bunt, and it came up empty. VR singled his first time up. 2 for 13 in the series. And a called strike. It's 0-2.
Kluber has made 3 starts against the AL West, and he is 2-0.
Now the 0-2, strike 3 called. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 3rd. You can see VR and why he was griping. He thought it was low.
There's
but the
little
breaking
slider,
ball
and
thought it was at the knees.
Well, he got the call.
Weak ground ball hit to second base. Kipnis waits for Swisher to get back to the bag. And the Astros go 1-2-3 for the first time today. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd. Houston 1, Cleveland nothing. Game from Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Bottom third of the Indians' order coming up here in inning number 3. Ball 1 to Yan Gomes, who's hit in 4 straight for Cleveland, going 6 for his last 14. Now the 2-0. Upstairs and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Bedard hasn't come close really to walking anybody to this point. And he finds the strike zone. 3-1.
Yeah, he has been spot on the first 2 innings.
Three-one pitch. And Gomes pops it up foul. That'll get out of play. Eric Bedard, it's been a very strange year for him. And when you look at some of the odd streaks that he's been on, in the month of April, he made 5 starts and had 5 no decisions. Then in May, he went 3-1 in his 5 starts. Then in June, he lost all 5 starts that he made.
Yeah.
Swung out and missed.
He comes back from a 3-0 count and gets the strikeout. That is number 5 already.
This looks like the old Eric Bedard. 5 strikeouts already here today. Taking a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind. He got the very slow breaking ball at 73 miles an hour, but he still got enough to get 92 in the fastball.
Yeah, the slow hook, that takes you off the fastball, and when he shows it to you, it's usually elevated or up in the strike zone. Real slow delivery. He's got that turn. He's got the curveball and the changeup he's been using very well.
Michael Brantley with a 6-game hitting streak coming in. He lines one into left field, and the Indians have their first hit of the game. Nice opposite field approach.
Well, when you look at it, left-handers are hitting Bedard better than righties. Lefties have a .290 batting average against them, while right-handers have a .253. And no surprise that Michael gets the first hit for the Indians, taking them the other way.
Mike Aviles getting the start today at third base. All season long, though, he's been part of the bench bunch for the Tribe. And Katie, they've got their own nickname, their own T-shirts, everything.
Yes, they do. The Goon Squad. I'm sure you've seen it or at least heard about it. You can thank Mike Aviles for coming up with the name of it, but he credits Yan Gomes. It all started with him, the way he had been stepping in and producing in big situations. Now, I know you're wondering the definition, Matt. Goon Squad is a group of guys that comes in and cleans things up. Like, you need a hit? Okay, Skip, put me in. It was kind of an ongoing joke, Aviles said, that turned into the guys just wanting to make an impact on the game. So acting like a goon is a very good thing.
Fouled right back. 1 ball, 1 strike for Mike Aviles. Well, that has been one of the endearing qualities of this team, is that it has been a team. And contributions have been from everybody. They don't have that superstar ringleader that says, jump on my back, I'll carry you. So it's been everybody contributing at one time or another throughout the season. Aviles sends one high in the air to shallow left. In comes Trevor Crow. 2 down.
Well, every team goes out there, and your extra men, they're a unit. you know, they're not playing every day. They got to take care of themselves and protect themselves, and they've done a good job for Francona this year.
Terry looking for a spark offensively here in the early going. Only one hit first time through the lineup.
Well, and the first time through the lineup, there was no swings at the first pitch, and he was pounding the strike zone. So let's see if they make any adjustments here in the second time through.
Outside to Bourne, ball one. He wants to talk to his catcher. Bedard is a guy who throughout his career has spent a lot of time on the disabled list. 8 times in his career he's been on the DL for a variety of ailments, from Tommy John surgery to shoulder surgery to hip problem and knee injury. Now the 1-0. That caught the outside part of the plate. Evens the count 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Bedard coming into today had 139 innings under his belt. That's the most innings he has pitched since 2007. And again, he has done a nice job so far today of adding and subtracting, really taking a lot off that pitch. Now the 2-2.
Well, he wasn't going to get timeout, and he did the wise thing. He stepped out and he had to come back in because it was too late. Even though verbally you may call timeout, the umpire, see, he tried to get it. It was too late, and I can see why C.B. Buckner didn't give it to him. It's too late. He started. Bourne had to come back in. Fortunately, it was a ball for him.
Now a full count. Brantley takes off, and Bourne fights it off and lives to see another pitch. Again, the 3-2, and again, Brantley was moving. Bourne again fouls it back. Once again, the 3-2. Brantley a late break. It's outside for ball 4, and the inning stays alive.
Well, the video game that put you in the owner's suite is now available free on iPhone and iPad. You can build your stadium and make the decisions to guide your team to the World Series. Download MLB Ballpark Empire free today.
Nick Swisher steps in here with 2 on and 2 out. After needing just 21 pitches to cruise through the first 2 frames, Bedard now has made 19 pitches here in the third, but he has 2 outs. See if Swisher can deliver with a 2-out hit and get the Indians on the board. Inside corner. Swisher saying no, that's in off the plate. Swisher lifts one in the air, left center field. Barnes, the center fielder's there, and the inning is over. Tribe gets 2 on, they strand him, and after 3, it's Houston 1, Cleveland nothing. Beat writer from the Beacon Journal newspaper, hanging him up. This is his swan song here this evening.
Yeah, he's sitting behind that window that's closed. They didn't want to open him up. Maybe we can get him to stand up. There he is.
There he
Lean
went.
forward, stand up. Come
Turn.
on, Sheldon. He just, forget about it.
Leading off for Houston will be Mark Krause here in inning number 4. Krause was called out on strikes his first time up. Hit pretty well to left. Brantley won't get to it. That's going to split the outfielders. And a one hops the fence for a leadoff double.
Tell you what, when Krause hits the ball, he hits it hard and it jumps off his bat with authority. The second double that way in this series. He pulled 1-2 off the wall in right field, stayed on it nicely. Leadoff double. His 8th double of the year.
That'll bring up Chris Carter, who homered his first time up. Carter homered onto the home run porch. It was a towering blast, his 29th of the year. And the pitch low and away for ball 1. This is what happened back in the second.
Watch this fastball came up and stayed middle in and belled high, and I mean he gave it a ride. High and deep into that home run porch.
That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. In the last 2 games, and then including today, The only Astros runs have been scored on solo homers. What they're looking for is a hit with a runner in scoring position, which has been very elusive. Just 2 for 15 in the series. And that's ball 4.
Well, he was going to be very careful after what he did the first time up, so he walks him on 4 pitches. The first walk for Kluber today.
Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com, get clubhouse reaction to the big crowd from last night. Buckeyes looking forward to Big Ten opponents. And preview Fox Sports 1's Mission October episode featuring the Indians. Complete coverage of all today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com. Matt Dominguez singled to left his first time up. That was on an 0-2 pitch. And he tries to go the other way, ropes it down the line, just foul.
Oh, boy. Catch a break there. That thing looked like it was going to get down, but it just sliced foul at the end. There it slices down there, not by much. That would have been a ground rule double had it stayed fair.
And that's in the hole in the right field, a base hit. Krause will have to stop at third, and the Astros have loaded him up here in the 4th inning with nobody out.
He just hit the ball where it was pitched. They wanted away, and that was a pretty good cutter down and away, and he just stayed on it. You see where Kipnis is at double play depth. Hit it to straight away second base, got it into right field, so everybody moves up 90 feet. And Houston will have the bases loaded, nobody out. A good opportunity for them to add to a 1-0 lead as Mickey Callaway will go have a chat with Kluber.
You know, the batter will be Trevor Crowe, who's 0 for 9 in the series. And Corey Kluber in an early jam here this afternoon. Oh for 9 for Trevor Crowe with 6 strikeouts.
Well, they've been staying on the baseball. Of their 5 hits today, 3 have gone opposite field.
That's up and away, ball 1. Crowe 0 for 10 in the series. I said 0 for 9. He did have a pinch hit appearance final out of last night's game. But Corey Kluber is scuffling here this afternoon. He's 2-0 now as Brian Shaw already up in the Indians bullpen. Remember, the last time out for Kluber, he made it just through 4 2/3 innings.
Right. Well, that was a game in Kansas City where Terry says, we can't let them get any farther ahead. They kept it a 3-run game, and they came back in that ball game to win.
Swing and a miss. It's 2-1.
Well, right now he's got himself in a little mess, but he can get himself out of it here. He was able to strike out Crowe back in the 2nd.
Double play ball to 2nd. There's 1 on the first. Double play. Astros get a run home. They lead it 2-0. But Trevor Crowe hits into the twin killer. And there are 2 down in the inning as Chris Carter goes to 3rd. We'll go back to the Hyundai Studios right now for an in-game update with Al Pulaski.
Hey, Matt, Rick, let's go to Pittsburgh where the Cincinnati Reds put up a 5 spot in the first inning off of Jeff Locke. A 3 RBI double by Joey Votto, and then this 2-run homer by Todd Frazier, his 18th of the year, have accounted for the runs. 5-0 Reds in the early going, Matt.
Well, Cincinnati continues to play well going down the stretch here.
Well, they can trying to get even with Pittsburgh, and I'll tell you, there's going to be some bad blood between those two teams before it's all said and done.
Well, because they've got another series coming up
in Cincinnati
to end the season, and
right.
then very likely they'll end up playing each other in that one-game playoff.
That very well could happen. If it does, you're talking about 7 times within a week. And I mean, it really means a lot. And they've had a battle going back and forth all year long. Yeah, last time I checked, there was, I think, 23 or 24 guys hit in that series between those two teams, and it's only going to get a little more heated as it goes along.
Be some hard feelings. 1-1 pitch. Swung out and missed. HOU was fooled badly that time. 1-2 the count. One-two pitch. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. 5th strikeout for Kluber. But Houston adds to their lead. They lead it 2-0. Give you an inside look at the surprise team in the American League, the underdog Cleveland Indians. They fight their way into October. Mission October, Trending Tribe premieres tomorrow on Fox Sports 1. Jason Kipnis tries to bunt his way aboard, but it's going to dribble foul, and he'll come back and try again. Bottom of the 4th, Indians out a couple of runs. Upstairs with it. That's outside. And the count 2-1. Outside again. 3-1. Kipnis with a hard line drive into left field. Stayed right on it. And the Indians get their leadoff man aboard for the first time today.
Good at bat just to get that leadoff man aboard. Stayed on it. Line drive the other way. That fastball was middle to in. But with that swing, good approach. Gets it by Dominguez at third into left field. Only the Indians' second hit. You can see he's pretty much stayed on the baseball all year long, not trying to pull it.
Well, here's Carlos Santana. Struck out his first time up. Drives this one. Deep right center field. Hose and Barnes racing back. It is going to short hop the fence. Kipnis coming around third. He'll be waved home. He will score, and the Indians are on the board. Carlos Santana with a ringing double to right center field. His 34th double of the year, RBI number 68.
It's only the second hitter that's gone after Bedard's first pitch today. And he stayed on it, had that high leg kick, got a fastball to his liking, and shoots it to right center field. Right into the gap, no problem for Kipnis to come around and score, so back-to-back hits have the Indians on the board. It is 2-1. Santana is 68th ribby.
Now Ryan Rayburn steps in with Santana at second base, the tying run. And Rayburn looks at strike one. Came with a breaking ball that time. And swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Rayburn in his last 11 games coming into today had 10 hits and 32 at bats. He's 1 for 3 in the series. But he's going to have to battle here down 0-2. Slowly dribbled towards third. Big hop. And Dominguez able to throw him out. One down. Today's trivia question brought to you by AT&T. 5 players have 100 or more homers and 100 or more steals for the Astros. Who are they? We'll have the answer coming up later in the game. In there for a strike. As Drupal Cabrera struck out his first time up. You see his numbers there, 5 for 12 in the series. Slowly chopped. That's going to go foul. Third base side. And again, an 0-2 count. Up and away. Fake to throw towards second, but Santana not all that far off the bag. The 3 hits the Indians have here in the game have all come from 3 hitters who've really stayed on the ball and taken it either to the opposite field or up the middle.
Right.
Down and in. 2 balls, 2 strikes. When Bedard is effective, it's his ability to continue to pitch inside and opens up that other half of the plate for him.
And then he gets ahead and gets you to swing at pitches like that one Cabrera just took. You know, he tries to expand your strike zone and get you to swing at his pitch. Change up.
It was up, and Cabrera might be a little upset he wasn't able to do something with that.
Well, when you have 2 strikes, though, you're just trying to put that ball in play, and he did leave it upstairs.
Santana, the runner at second base. Tying run here in the 4th inning. 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Full count.
Bedard with 73 walks in 139 innings coming into this game has only walked 1. So the patience certainly helps. He will walk you if you give him an opportunity.
Payoff pitch, outside, ball 4. So he's walked his second, and the Indians have 2 on with 1 out, and Yan Gomes is coming up.
Well, Indians playoff tickets will go on sale to the public tomorrow, and you don't want to be left out. Postseason action right here at Progressive Field. Log on to Indians.com/postseason for more information.
Yan Gomes, a strikeout victim, his first time up. He'll be batting with runners at first and second and 1 gone here in the 4th. Gomes is 4 for 9 in the series. Outfield more or less plays him straight up. And a fastball strike over the outside corner. Santana kept inching off as though he was going to steal third if Bedard never looked at him.
Right now, Carlos, let the guy hit. You don't start jockeying back and forth. You could interrupt the hitter right here. You're the tying run at second base. He's not going to steal third, so just stay put.
Gomes a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. .40 out of 60 pitches for strikes so far for the left-hander, Eric Bedard. And he strikes him out. 2 down in the inning, a half dozen strikeouts for Eric Bedard. He has struck out Gomes twice now today.
Fastball upstairs. See it above the belt, letter high. Just can't get those hands up there to get it. Swings through it. Second out of the inning.
That'll leave it up to Michael Brantley, who had the Indians' first hit of this game in the third inning. He lined a base hit to left field. It was the only hit Bedard allowed first time through the lineup. Second time through, couple of hits, couple of walks. Only one strikeout thus far after he fanned 5 of the first 7 hitters to start the game.
Well, Brantley's numbers with 2 outs, very good. He has been one of the best at it all year.
It's 2-0 on a couple of close pitches. That's called a strike, and it's 2-1.
Right now, Bedard's thinking what he has to do because he's made 3 pitches, and I think 2 of them have been the same, and he only gets 1 called strike. So that strike zone is, for me, looking right here, looks a little inconsistent.
Outside 3-1. Well, we'll see if Brantley can take advantage of a good hitter's count here.
Good hitter's count. I think you'll see that breaking ball again that he started him off with the first 3 pitches. We'll see. Change up.
And a full count.
Change up that he put in a pretty good spot. When you're behind, that hitter's looking fastball. So he went away with it. That was a good spot, and Brantley did get a piece of it, thinking it was going to be the fastball, and fouled it off.
Two on, 2 out. Bedard has a reputation for being a slow worker, especially when he gets runners on base, and he's living up to it here in this inning. Runners will be off. And he steps away again. If there were a delay of game penalty, he'd been flagged a couple of times this inning. Sometimes hitters are just as guilty. They step out a lot, but in this instance, it's just been Bedard.
His manager's sitting there waiting for it.
The runners go, and the 3-2 is fouled away.
Well, he started out cruising. 10 and 11 in the first 2 innings. And, you know, normally he has a 9 ERA in the first, but got through those 2. And now the 3rd and 4th, he's starting to throw a lot more pitches. They're able to get to him early now in this inning.
Again, the runners will be off. And the payoff pitch right back up the middle. Santana around third will score, and the Indians have tied the game. Brantley is 2 for 2, and he almost took Eric Bedard's ankles out with that one.
Well, he tried to come in with the fastball, and I'll tell you what, he was waiting for it. He tried to change up, tried the breaking ball, but there's the fastball. He got it up, and Bedard has to skip rope as Michael Brantley again gets a 2-out knock. They tie the ball game up, and the inning is still going. That's 4 hits now for the Indians, and Michael has 2 of them.
And he's got a bushel full of 2-out RBI hits this year.
Yeah, he really has. Look at him, 27 this year, hitting .349. What a great job. Clutch hitting by Michael.
Sun breaking through the clouds here as the Indians have broken through for 2 runs against Eric Bedard, and they've tied the game. Three of their 4 hits all coming in this inning. And now Mike Aviles, who flied to left his first time up. Swung at a fastball. It's 0-1. Upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Pop back, that's going to get out of play. Baltimore and Tampa Bay. They're in the 3rd inning down in St. Pete. Rays have an early 1-0 lead there. Texas, Kansas City, they're scoreless in the 2nd at Kauffman Stadium. The Indians began the day a half game behind Tampa for the top wild card spot and a half game in front of Texas in that 2nd wild card position. 1-2 pitch. Pitches in the inning now for Eric Bedard. Aviles, the 7th Indians batter. And he lines a base hit into left field. Coming around third base, Cabrera's going to try to score. Crow's throw to the plate. He is safe. What a slide by Cabrera. He maneuvered around Corcoran and just did get the right hand in to swipe home plate. And the Indians have taken a 3-2 lead with 3 runs here in the 4th as Mike Aviles delivers the 2nd consecutive 2-out RBI hit of the inning for Cleveland.
Well, Aviles with 2 strikes. You see a 1-hopper. You got to send him with 2 outs. The throw coming in. It's close. Just a little bit offline, and Cabrera went to the inside. Slapped that hand. Very nice slide by Cabrera. So back-to-back hits with 2 outs, and the Indians take a 3-2 lead. Aviles his 43rd ribby.
And both runners moved up. Brantley's at 3rd. Aviles at 2nd as Bourne shows bunt and takes a strike. The 8th man to bat in the inning for the Indians. Bourne struck out on the 1st, walked in the 3rd. And that's outside, 1-1. Good pitch, drops it in there for a strike. And it's 1-2.
Anytime there's a base hit and you're the on-deck hitter, you got to come in and tell a guy where to slide. Look where Bourne is. He is directing him. He's like air traffic control, man. Get over there to the inside. And that's exactly where Cabrera came in. And that's what you do. That was well done by Bourne. Something that'll go unnoticed.
Not by us.
No, but I mean, when you're rounding 3rd, he's coming in that throw from left field. He doesn't know which way to slide. He may look at the catcher, but when you have your guy telling you right or left and he went on the inside, well done by Cabrera to get that slap of the home plate with his hand.
2-2. Swung on and missed. Bourne strikes out. The inning is over, but the Indians come back with 3 here in the 4th. And they now lead it 3-2. the wireless receiver only from AT&T Uverse. Rethink possible. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. (3-2), the Indians lead it. As we go now to the fifth inning, Tribe roaring back with a very productive fourth inning. Scoring 3 times to give Corey Kluber the lead. Kluber's made 62 pitches on the day. 39 of those have been strikes. And he'll face Carlos Corcoran, Brandon Barnes, and Jonathan Villar here in the fifth. Pitch outside, ball 1.
Corcoran had a really good at-bat in his first time up to the plate, worked him to a full count, had about an 8 or a 9 pitch at bat, and ended up grounding out to second.
Caught the outside corner there. It's 2-1. Hit hard and into right field, a base hit. The Astros get their leadoff man aboard. That's their 6th hit in the game. Injury report today brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. Poor Colby Rasmus. That's no way to have to miss time. Hit by a warm-up throw. Brandon Barnes struck out his first time up. Left-hander Mark Zepchinski warming for Cleveland as Kluber delivers in there for a strike. Going to go out of play.
Send along some birthday wishes. Gene McGrath of Sagamore Hills is turning 89 today. Gene, very happy birthday to you.
Swung on and missed. He strikes him out. That's a half dozen strikeouts for Kluber. 1 down here in the 5th. With regards to the injury report we just gave you, Katie has more on Justin Masterson.
Well, Matt, Justin Masterson will throw a simulated game later today after our game ends. They're actually going to have him warm up in the bullpen, then come in and throw 25 pitches off the game mound. Now, he will face a hitter. That hitter won't be allowed to swing. But if all goes well and he feels good tomorrow, you could see him come in out of the pen on Wednesday's game.
All right, thanks, Katie.
Well, doesn't surprise you that if anybody can come back, he could.
I talked to Justin before the game today, and he feels great. You know, he said, man, my arm feels amazing right now. And he literally is like a caged animal. He can't wait to get out there and turn it loose again. He just needs to pass these tests and make sure there's no recurrence of that injury. And Pitch in there for a strike. Jonathan VR singled his first time up, then was thrown out trying to steal. Took a called third his last time up. Outside he missed, 2-1. They are fouling it off, and Kluber now gets to 2-2. Bounce to second. Kipnis to Cabrera. Tries to get back to first in time, but VR beats it out, and the inning stays alive. Let's go back to the studios once again with an update. Here's Al Pulowski.
All right, Matt, let's go to the Trop. Orioles and Rays. Aney Romero making his major league debut for Tampa, and David DeJesus stakes him to a 1-0 lead as he leads off the game with his first homer as a Ray, with Tampa batting there in the bottom of the first. That's been it thus far. Still 1-0 Tampa over the O's, third inning.
So you got to look at the wild card standings. Tampa a half game in front of Cleveland for the top wild card spot. Indians hold the second spot. Texas a half game back. Indians will be off tomorrow. Both of those teams will be playing. In fact, Tampa will be finishing up their series with Baltimore tomorrow.
Day game, wraparound series for them. It's been a long weekend for Baltimore in Tampa.
Swing and a miss. If I'm not mistaken, Texas goes home to face these Astros.
Yes, that is correct.
Jose Altuve is an aggressive swinger. 0 for his last 11. He's grounded out twice here today. He tried to bunt. Gomes, throw back to first. They caught him to end the inning. VR, once again, a boneheaded base running mistake. He gets caught in no man's land, and the inning is over. Middle of the fifth. 3-2 Cleveland. fifth. Nick Swisher, Jason Kipnis, Carlos Santana due up for the Tribe. Swisher 0 for 2 today. And Eric Bedard with the first pitch. Breaking ball for a strike. Bedard first started using that twisting wind-up motion. Not quite Louis Tion, but he does turn his back to the hitter before he delivers. Started that during his third professional season of baseball, and he just felt like it gave him an opportunity to hide the baseball. And he said, the way I pitch, if the hitter has to take a split second longer to pick up the ball, then that gives me the advantage.
Deception. I mean, that's what anybody can use. But a lot of times when you do that, you better be in sync. And timing-wise, you better consistently do that or you could be out of whack.
That brings me to the second part of the story, the 1-2 pitch. The coaches told him he could only do it because, you know, in third pro season, you're still a young player. Only do it if he continued to throw strikes.
Okay, yeah. Not an easy thing to do. When you watch the turn. And you can turn, sometimes you'll turn more, sometimes you'll turn quicker. That's the thing, is staying consistent. And you can do it out of the full windup.
So that left shoulder has a long way to go to get back to pointing towards home plate by the time he lets go of the ball. And as you pointed out, that's why, you know, coaches would keep a close eye on that, because if you turn and then you don't get turned back around, then you're thrown across your body, or if you open up too much, then you're flying open. There are a lot of mechanical things that can go wrong. And that just missed hitting Kipnis.
That's where every pitcher's different. They have to find their own rhythm, their own mechanics, and you know, you have to pretty much have be your own coach and have your checkpoints when you go out there. And if you've been around a coach long enough that they can monitor that, it's going to change from year to year when you go to a different coach.
Now, we talked about the transformation of Ubaldo Jimenez and how a lot of that was mechanically based, but in his case it was more about speeding up the tempo,
right,
which helped improve the mechanics. Carter with a nice dive, but he can't get to it. And Jason Kipnis has his second hit of the day. And a one-out base runner for the Tribe here in the fifth as we give you our in-game recap, brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. It was Chris Carter's second home run of the series, 29th of the year, that staked Houston to a 1-0 lead. They led it 2-0 when the Tribe began their comeback in the fourth. Michael Brantley, a 2-out RBI single, tied it. Mike Aviles followed with a 2-out RBI single to put the Indians ahead. And, you know, I want to go back to the point you were making that inning about Michael Bourne being in position and then telling Cabrera to slide to the inside. How many times do we see the on-deck hitter not in position, still standing there in the on-deck circle watching the action, and then realizing maybe late and trying to run over at the end? Well, that doesn't work.
Late.
You've got to be in position.
Absolutely right. You've got to be watching the game and doing everything, ready to do that same thing. That could be the difference of a safe or an out call, and we saw the safe call.
It could be huge.
Could be very, very big here. And you can see where the throw is going to be up the third base line. And if he stayed straight in, you never know. He might have been out, but he comes to the inside, and that's all because of Bourne telling him. Yeah, you don't have to do it as much. You want to be in there from right field, but it's the throw from left field that you have to do it.
Goes back to that conversation we had in Oakland a month ago about the term out of left field, where it came from. Well, because if the throw's coming from left and you're running to home, you never see it coming.
Right. You don't have eyes in the back of your head.
And that's why that teammate being at home plate can be very helpful. And it was in that instance. Carlos Santana, who crushed a double to center field his last time up, in a good spot here, 3-1. Bedard at 90 pitches now on the afternoon. Out in front of it, full count. Payoff pitch. Pop to center. In comes Barnes. And that's out number 2.
Well, if you want to take a break away from the Cleveland winter some point in time in February or March, you can spend it with the Indians out in Arizona. 3 great spring packages they have. You can call 1-855-298-5444.
Up comes Ryan Rayburn. He's flied out, grounded out. Into center field. Barnes coming in to make the catch, and the inning is over. We've played 5. The Indians lead it 3-2. His playoff tickets go on sale to the public tomorrow, so don't be left out of postseason action here at Progressive Field. Log on to Indians.com/postseason for all the information. The Indians with a 3-2 lead over the Houston Astros going to the 6th inning. Double barrel action in the Tribe pen. Corey Kluber at 76 pitches will go to work against Jose Altuve, who was at the plate when the 5th inning came to an abrupt end. Jonathan Villar caught too far off the base at first after Altuve had faked the bunt, or I think he actually attempted at the bunt, but
yeah, just another Astro thrown out on the base paths in this series.
You see Zepchinski, the left-hander, Shaw from the right side. Punches it foul. Inside, he missed 2-2. Now the 2-2. And a chopper toward short. Cabrera throws him out. 1 away. Yan Gomes threw out Jonathan Villar trying to steal in the 1st inning. And then he got him caught wandering after that bunt attempt going awry by Altuve.
You see that one extra step, thinking he's going to do something, but with the bunt, with two outs, don't understand that. But you shuffled off, and you can throw, but what Yan Gomes can throw, and he'll get you. Kluber's day is over.
Corey goes 5 1/3. He'll leave. Left-hander Mark Zepchinski. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen will be coming on here in the 6th to face the big left-handed slugger Mark Krause. Prime time lineup at 7 o'clock. He'll be talking pennant fever. Well, the Indians October bound. How will the playoff race shake out by the time the day is all said and done? Plus, he'll have coverage of the Browns game against Minnesota. Then Golf Zone at 9 with Jimmy Hanlon. Browns overtime at 10. It's all tonight right here on Sports Time Ohio. Mark Zepchinski, his 22nd appearance on the year. No wins or losses, an ERA of 1.04. He's got Mark Krause, who doubled and scored in the 4th.
He's pitched 2/3 of an inning in this series.
Zepchinski very well could be on for just this one batter. One ball, one strike. Line to left, that's a base hit for Krause. Big guy continues to swing the bat well. He's going to go into second base with a one-out double. His second double today and his 5th hit in the series.
Well, he stays with that inside-out approach, and he keeps it fair. So hits that ball down in the left field. He will get his second double, and back comes Francona to make another pitching move.
So Zepchinski on to face the left-hander, gives up the hit. His day is over. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen will be for Brian Shaw. And Shaw will be coming on to face Chris Carter when we come back. Get the final word on the Browns matchup with the Vikings tomorrow night inside the Browns Red Zone. Jim Donovan, Doug Deacon, Tony Grossi will talk about the game. Take your calls. It's the Browns Red Zone tomorrow night at 8, presented by Buffalo Wild Wings. 1 on, 1 out. Chris Carter, the batter. Brian Shaw on to face him. His 67th appearance of the year. 5 wins, 3 losses, and an ERA of 3.42. Carter homered in the second inning, walked his last time up. Again, first base open, just as it was the last time he came up. Tying run in scoring position for Houston. Fouled back. Brian Shaw, originally a second-round pick of the Diamondbacks back in 2008 out of Long Beach State. Part of the off-season trade package that sent Shin Soo Choo to the Reds. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out on 3 pitches. Terrific job by Brian Shaw for out number 2 here in the 6th. And before Matt Dominguez comes to the plate, who are the 5 big boppers and stolen base guys for the Astros?
You got any?
I was thinking, was Jose Cruz one of them?
Yeah, Cruz I would think was one, and they got old Jimmy Wynn and
Biggio maybe?
Cedeno.
Yeah. Oh, Cesar Cedeno.
Yeah, remember him? Oh, yeah, back in the 70s.
Jimmy Wynn.
Great power, great speed.
High pop, right field. Ryan Rayburn is there. Well, you can't be any more efficient than Brian Shaw here in the 6th inning. 4 pitches, he gets 2 outs, and the inning is over. Three-2, the Indians lead it. Bottom of the 6th inning. And for the Tribe is Drupal Cabrera to lead off. Takes down and in, ball 1 from Eric Bedard. Oh, Dale Scott said Cabrera went around. I didn't think he offered at it. I thought he was able to check it. However, it's 0-1. 2 balls and a strike. Cabrera waited back nicely and scorches it into left field. And once again, the Indians have their leadoff man aboard. It's just the second time today.
Looked like Dominguez got a little piece of leather on it, but it was hit so hard there was no way he was going to catch that ball. He stayed back beautifully on an off-speed pitch and just rakes it into left field. Gets his first hit of the day, so the second straight time he's been on. It did go off the end of his glove.
Yan Gomes, the batter, has struck out twice today. Threw it by him again. He has really been able to just somehow throw the fastball by Yan Gomes. Now, whether it's just a case where he's elevated it just enough, but he's got Gomes shaking his head. Now he pulls the string on him, and it's 1-2. Right back. That hit him.
Well, he was not going to move.
Oh, he certainly was not.
And you know what? Bedard, that's what he's saying. He never tried to get out of there.
He didn't lean into it, though.
And he wasn't trying to hit him because he had him down on the count 1-2, and he had struck him out 2 times before. So Bo Parter's going to come out and talk to C.B. Buckner about that and ask him. He didn't even make an effort to get out of the way of that pitch. He took it. Went to first base. Now they have first and second, nobody out, and a chance to add on to a 3-2 lead.
I think what Bo Porter's asking is, did he lean into it? Did he go out of the batter's box and get in the way of it?
I know he didn't move. Look at that's called tracking practice right there. You track it right into your knee. Look at take one for the team. He did too.
So the Indians have their first 2 on with nobody out in the 6th inning, and Michael Brantley coming to the plate. Brantley is already 2 for 2 today, including a 2-out RBI single in the 4th. That tied the game. And then the next man up, Mike Aviles, put the Indians in front. Hits are even at 7 apiece. Michael now has hit in 7 straight games, 10 hits in his last 24 at-bats, and he's got another one. Coming around third, Cabrera's going to try to score. Barnes up with it. No throw to the plate. The Indians lead it 4-2, and Michael Brantley is a perfect 3 for 3 on the day.
And both of his RBI singles, Matt, right back up the box and almost knocks Bedard off the mound. Gets another one, and you can see right into center field, exactly like the last one in the 4th inning. Cabrera scored that time as well. Comes in to score here. The Indians make it 4-2, and we'll see a new pitcher now, I believe.
Timeout as Bo Porter heads to the mound. Bo Porter makes the signal for the bullpen. Eric Bedard's day is over after he goes 5 innings plus 3 batters. Charged with 4 runs. on 8 hits, and he's responsible for the 2 men on base. Philip Umber will be coming on when we come back. Four-2, the Indians lead it. They've got 2 on, nobody out. And Philip Umber coming on now for the Astros. It's his 17th appearance of the year. You see the record 0-8 with a 7.86 ERA, and that's how one gets designated for assignment, which is what happened to Umber earlier this year. On May the 12th, they designated him for assignment, and then inexplicably they brought him back. Usually when you designate a guy for assignment, that means thanks but no thanks.
Yeah.
In that game against the Indians that he started on April the 20th, he went 1/3 of an inning. And on 30 pitches, they tagged him for 8 runs on 8 hits.
And this is a guy a couple of years ago had the perfect game when he was with the White Sox against the Seattle Mariners. Coming on in relief of Eric Bedard, who went 5+ innings. 5 plus the 3 batters, gave up 8 hits. Responsible for the 2 out there is the sacrifice bunt Aviles makes, goes down.
Gomes to third, Brantley to second. And with 1 down, Michael Bourne will be the batter. You know, that start he had against the Indians was by far his worst of the year because he only made it through 1/3 of an inning. But the very next time out, he went 4 2/3, gave up 7 runs on 10 hits to Boston. 2 starts after that against Detroit, 4 innings, 8 runs on 8 hits against Detroit.
Wow.
Throws it by Michael Bourne. Foul back out of play. It was just last year on April the 21st when Umber authored his perfect game against the Mariners in Seattle.
Boy, it seems like so long ago.
Struck out 9. Didn't walk anybody, obviously.
Do you remember the last play of the game where the hitter checked swing and they said he went, and it was Puzinski that having to throw the ball to first base?
Second and third with one out and a 1-2 count for Bourne. Bourne rips it down the right field line. That'll go for extra bases, and the Indians blow it open. Gomes scores. Brantley comes home. Bourne's going for 3. He's in standing with a 2-run triple. Michael Bourne's 5th triple of the year. His 47th and 48th runs batted in on the season. The Indians with 3 more here in the 6th now lead it 6-2. Now, the way they've been defending Bourne all series long, I kept thinking to myself, if he ever pulls a pitch, they'll never be able to get him out. Look how far the right fielder had to go to get it.
Well, they slowed it down for him. That was an off-speed pitch or a cutter or a break. It was off-speed. Wasn't a fastball. When you're playing somebody over, you can't give them a pitch to pull or make a mistake there, and they certainly did. And Bourne took advantage of it, drilled it into the corner, so the sacrifice pays dividends. Both runs score. 50th career triple for Michael Bourne.
All 3 runs in the inning charged to Eric Bedard. So he allows 6 runs on 8 hits in 5 innings of work here today. Infield still in. Nick Swisher at the plate. Now Swisher lifts one high in the air to center. Probably deep enough. Barnes comes charging in now. Bourne's going to try to score. The throw way offline. Michael scores standing, and it's a 4-run 6th for Cleveland. They lead it 7-2. Swisher gets RBI number 59 on the year.
Well, they do things right in that inning. Get them over, get them in. So it's a 4-run inning. They've had 2 big innings. The 4th, they scored 3. This inning, they have scored 4.
Jason Kipnis takes a strike.
Started out the day over 3 against Bedard with runners in scoring position, then took advantage of it for their last 5.
Jason Kipnis taking a strike. It's 0-2. Kipnis 2 for 3 on the day. Singled each of his last 2 trips with a run scored. And now Kipnis drives one down the left field line. That's a fair ball. Crow plays it up off against the wall, and Jason Kipnis slides in safely with a double. So Philip Umber has offered no relief for Houston since he came into the ballgame. He's given up 2 hits, a triple, and a double.
Well, Jason Kipnis, 3 straight hits for him. He went the other way with his first base hit. He pulled the one in the hole with his second base hit. And now the patented Kipnis swing that we've witnessed all season long going the other way with his 34th double. 10 hits now for the Tribe.
Now Carlos Santana, who drove in a run with a double in the 4th. 1 for 3 on the day. Santana with a fly ball to right field. And L.J. Hose will make the catch to end the inning. Tribe plates 4 in the 6th. They now lead it 7-2. You by Panini's with 18 locations in Northeast Ohio, and by Levin. A look in from Progressive Field. Our Panini Cam brought to you by Panini's Bar and Grill. Kind of a cloudy gray day in downtown Cleveland. Autumn arriving in just a little over an hour from now.
An hour and a half. Almost an hour and a half to be exact.
Oh, man. What a day, though.
Well, it's warmed up after that 4-run sixth.
It sure has. 7-2, Indians in command. Brian Shaw stays into the ball game. Got the last 2 outs of the 6th inning on 4 pitches. Trevor Crowe 0 for 2 today.
Well, that was the big play back in the 4th inning when they had bases loaded, nobody out, and Crowe at the plate, and Kluber able to get him to ground into a double play.
Trevor Crowe awaiting the 1-1 pitch. Shatters the bat. And Kipnis makes the catch.
Well, that was the old cutter coming in and just shatters the bat. Ball stays on the infield. The barrel of the bat goes flying out towards second base.
Now L.J. Hose 0 for 2 on the day. Takes outside, ball 1. Caught the outside corner. And the count evens. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the count 2-1. Try to go with an off-speed pitch, just missing. 3-1 the count. And Shaw walks Hose with 1 out here in the 7th. It's going to bring on Terry Francona for a pitching change. And I believe he's got Cody Allen out there. And so that's going to be it for Brian Shaw. Retired the first 3 he faced, then walked Hose. So his day is over, and Cody Allen is coming on when we come back.
7-2, and I know this cold weather already has me thinking about that warm sunshine out in Goodyear, Arizona. If you have never been out to spring training, maybe this year's the perfect time to do it. The Indians have 3 packages all planned out for you. You can get more information right now by calling 855-298-5444. Matt, we'll send it back up to you.
Thanks, Katie. Cody Allen coming on now for the Indians, his 73rd appearance of the year. 6-1, a 2.55 ERA. Tribe with a 7-2 lead. And the batter for Houston will be Carlos Corcoran, who is 1 for 2. Tampa Bay continues to lead Baltimore 1-0. They're in the 6th inning in St. Pete. Rangers Royals still scoreless. They're in the 5th at Kauffman Stadium.
That's Shields for Kansas City today. Got to see who's pitching for. Alexei Ogando is on for Texas in that game.
Well, Ogando's only given up 2 hits. Shields given up 5. But no runs so far in that game. White Sox lead Detroit 6-1 in the 7th. How about Chicago last night? A 6-0 lead in the 9th inning.
Wow.
And the Tigers tied it, then won it in the 12th.
Didn't you tell me that they had 5 runs with nobody out?
Yeah, they scored
the
5 runs before before Chicago got an out. Crazy. The White Sox will be here to open up a 2-game series Tuesday night.
Yeah, they head home after that Detroit game, and they put a makeup game with Toronto tomorrow, I believe, on Monday, and then come in here.
To first, it's a foul ball by inches. Yeah, your last 2 opportunities to catch the Tribe at home here in the regular season. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, with Chicago in town. As you see, it's just foul up the first base side. Then the Indians will hit the road for 4, and hopefully they'll be back home for postseason action. Fouled back. Should the Indians secure the top wild card spot, then they would host whoever the second place team would be in the wild card hunt. If it ends up in a tie, they hold the tiebreaker over Texas,
the West, and
not over Tampa, though, right?
Correct.
Still a multitude of possibilities. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Corcoran strikes out 2 down.
Cody Allen throws a low heater right here, and I mean down, maybe a little lower than the knees, but it was a good pitch. He gets him to swing and miss. That's out number 2.
Brandon Barnes is 0 for 2. He has struck out twice. Nice pick by Yan Gomes.
That was a nice pick. He had to turn that glove around. That's surprising it didn't go off the glove. I mean, watch him how far his hand has to go to pick this ball. It's a breaking ball. Look at that. That to me is end up lucky because he moved the right way, but it went right in the glove. That's a awfully tough play.
Checks, it's a little bit high, 2-0. Back out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Pop foul, that's out of play. Two balls, two strikes, two down here in the seventh. The Indians on top 7-2. Houston led it 2-0 going into the bottom of the fourth. That's when the Indians broke through, scored 3 times. They added 4 more in the sixth. And a full count. Swung and fouled it off. Cody Allen, drafted by the Indians out of high school in 2011. And fast becoming one of their top setup men. That's fouled third base side. Oh, what a slider. Completely locked him up. Cody Allen punches out a pair. And we've reached the seventh inning stretch with the Tribe in command 7-2. Stretch time brought to you by Spitzer Auto World. Life is hard. Buying a car shouldn't be. with a 7-2 lead over the Astros. And as promised earlier, it's Miller time. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Yan Gomes has been kind of a one-man wrecking crew defensively with his arm.
Showing off the gun, isn't he, in this series? I mean, he's had a good series throwing guys out. They try to steal, he throws them out. You get off a little too far, he's going to continue to gun you down. And what a good arm he has.
It's the largest home Sunday crowd of the season. 26,168 turning out today to watch the Indians go for their 6th 4-game sweep of the season. The Indians haven't had that happen since 1954, sweeping 6 series of at least 4 games. Ryan Rayburn 0 for 3 on the afternoon will lead it off. Tribe a season high 15 games over 500. They've won 8 of their last 10. They hold one of the wild card playoff spots in their possession. And Rayburn, a one-hop smash into left field. Let's go back to the studios once again for another update with Al.
All right, man, let's go to New York. Andy Pettit had a no-hitter going into the 6th inning. And then Ire Adrianza with his first major league home run breaks it up and ties the game at 1. The Giants and the Yanks still tied. They're in the 7th now at Yankee Stadium. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. 1-1 in that ball game. Boy, Andy Pettit's final, maybe his last start. I don't know. Will he get another start, do you think, or is that going to be it?
I don't know. That's hard to tell. He may have one more to go.
Announcing his retirement at the end of the season. Maybe he'll get a start in Houston. That's where he's from. Remember he went down and spent some time with the Astros.
Yeah.
Downstairs. Philip Umber working out of the stretch with Matt Carson, the pinch runner, at first. Snap throw back to first base. Close play, but Carson back safely. Low and away. Three-one pitch to Cabrera. And a throw to first instead. Tampa Bay now leading Baltimore 3-0 down in St. Pete. Jeremy Hellickson shutting out the Orioles. Baltimore, unless they rally, headed to their 4th straight loss. 3-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, full count.
Well, he's keeping him close over there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Throwing behind him.
Texas, Kansas City still scoreless. They're in the 6th inning. And the payoff pitch. Carson goes. It's ball 4. All right, so here's a look at if the postseason began today, and this just in, it does not. But if it did, this is kind of an idea of what you'd be looking at. A wild card playoff game for the American League on October the 2nd. And then the division series will begin on October the 4th.
But one more week of baseball.
Yeah, and you know, the way this wild card is jumbled together. I mean, let's just say, for example, Rick, the Indians hold on and win here today. Now, let's say Tampa Bay holds on and wins. And then let's say Texas wins. I mean, you could end up with, well, all 3 teams could be tied
by tomorrow.
I mean,
yeah.
Very theoretical. You could end up with a 3-way tie because the Indians will be off tomorrow. Both Texas and Tampa Bay will play.
Right.
There's just a lot of possibilities.
Well, they have. If they win today, the Indians, that's fine because they have the 70 losses. I'll give them one more win, and they're looking for a couple of losses tomorrow. Take a nice day off before you close out your last 2 here. And then it's a 4-game series in Minnesota.
One and 2 the count here for Yan Gomes. A couple of strikeouts. He was hit by a pitch in the 6th inning. And the Indians end up scoring 4 runs in that frame. Gomes strikes out again. 1 down in the 7th. Up comes Michael Brantley. He has been kryptonite for Houston pitching here today. A perfect 3 for 3. Twice he has driven in runs with a base hit. He's now hit in 7 straight games. 11 hits and 25 at-bats. Rope foul. The 0-1 pitch. Brantley again blisters at foul. Boy, even the balls he's hitting foul are just torpedoes.
Well, he's been right up the middle with his last 2 RBI singles, but that came off the left-hander, Eric Bedard. He has 68 RBIs now.
Umber ready, the 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Action in the Houston bullpen again. Jorge De Leon getting loose now for Houston.
He wants to talk to him.
If I throw him a strike anywhere around the plate, there's a good chance he's going to hit it, huh?
Well, he's listening to what he has to say, but I would think that Umber has an idea what he wants to throw to try and get him out, as Albers is waiting in the Indians' pen.
Matt Carson, the runner at second base. He came on for Ryan Rayburn. Asdrubal Cabrera is down at first with one out. Then the 1-2 pitch to Brantley. Up and away, it's 2-2. And he strikes him out. Second strikeout for Umber. Back-to-back Ks here in the 7th inning after the first two reached. And that'll leave it up to Mike Aviles. And Aviles today, fly to left in the 3rd. Drove in a run in the 4th with a base hit and then a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Broken bat, base hit left field. Coming around third, Matt Carson's going to score. Cabrera stops at second. 8-2 Indians. Mike Aviles with his second RBI single of the afternoon.
Well, that ball gets in on him, it looked like a little bit. Didn't hit it hard, maybe cracked his bat, but he gets an RBI. Keeps it going. That's hit number 12 for the Indians. Run number 8 for Aviles. His second hit today, his second ribby.
And back to the top of the order, Michael Bourne, who drove in 2 with a triple his last time up, off Philip Umber. Swung on and missed. And a liner caught by Altuve at second base to end the inning. 7 complete. It's now the Indians 8 and the Astros 2. and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Stay tuned for Indians Live. Comes your way next. Brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. The highlights, interviews, analysis, it's all straight ahead. Matt Albers will come on now for the 53rd time this year. And Matt Carson stays in the ballgame, and he is in right field. Top of the order for Houston, Jonathan Villar will lead it off. And a fastball strike from Matt Albers, the Houston native. Drafted by the Houston Astros, his hometown team out of Clements High in Sugar Land, Texas, just a suburb of Houston. He was what they call a draft and follow pick. So they drafted him. He went to San Jacinto Junior College in Texas. And then just before the June draft, the Astros got his name on a contract. And he started his pro career. But he wound up being traded by the Astros to Baltimore, along with Luke Scott in the Miguel Tejada trade back in 2007. Struck him out looking. One down here in the 8th. Keys to the game brought to you by Akron Children's Hospital. Now the Indians with a win today, 6 4-game sweeps on the year, and that's what they're looking for. Strong starting pitching. Corey Kluber, he showed signs of it, but he also was able to work out of some trouble. And the early offense for the Indians, they were down early, but they were able to come back. And they have scored 8 unanswered runs. Matt Albers pitched previously for Terry Francona with the Red Sox. The interesting thing is how often players that you know cross paths. I mean, here's Matt Albers as an Indian, and when he was with Boston, he went to Arizona for Craig Breslow, who had previously been here.
Yeah, and Breslow went to Boston.
And then he's not still there, is he?
Yeah.
Is he still with the Red Sox?
He's still in Boston. Went to Arizona, Oakland, Boston, Minnesota after he left here for a little bit, I think.
Jose Altuve, the batter, 0 for 3 in the series and 1 for 14 in the series. Right back up the middle, and it's through. And that's going to do it for Albers. Just 2 batters for him here this afternoon. Gives up a single and a walk, or a single and a strikeout, and his day comes to an end. Left-hander Clay Rapata coming on when we come back. And now pitching for Cleveland is Clay Rapata. Fourth appearance. And it's outside, ball one. Mark Cross lifts one in the air to left field. And Michael Brantley is there to grab it. 2 down. Timeout for another pitching change. Terry Francona is going to go to a right-hander. With 2 down here in the 8th, C.C. Lee will be next. And it will be right-hander C.C. Lee. This is a situation, I'm sure some people are going, boy, why change pitchers so many times with a 6-run lead? This is more of Terry Francona getting guys opportunities to stay sharp, getting a look at them. It's not so much that I think that he's necessarily matching up pitcher for hitter to try to win the game. He's just you got these guys here, might as well use them, get a look at them.
Well, and he is. It's the 7th pitcher today. Ouch.
Wow, that went right into the chest protector of C.B. Buckner, and he is down in a heap. And Jeff Desjardins, Indians trainer, is out quickly. He's in a lot of pain.
Shoulder, there it is. He's looking up to that right shoulder. On the side of the mask. He wears that hockey mask. And there, that's exactly the shoulder blade.
Like the collarbone.
Yeah, and that was a direct hit. Absolutely.
Take a listen to the impact.
Oh.
And that was a full-on. That's no glancer. That was straight on.
And I'm not sure if there's protection there or not. Right in the crease there, or maybe a little pad, that keeps the for the shoulder.
Rick. I don't know.
That might be right in that little crease area. That certainly hurt, and he's giving him a little bit of time. Boy, oh boy. You talk about a direct hit.
I think he's going to try to hang in there. He's just saying, please don't anyone hit one back here again. Well, Dale Scott, the crew chief, checking to make sure he's okay. Look at him. He's wincing, just raising that right arm up to put his mask on.
Yeah, he's hoping that any hitter that swings puts it in place so he doesn't have to raise the right arm.
All right, so ready for action, or ready as he can be. If I was C.B. Buckner, I'd be crouching down so low. I'd be right directly behind Yan Gomes. Fouled back out of play. Chris Carter homered back in the second inning, walked in the fourth, struck out his last time up. Now one homer shy of 30 on the year. One and two the count. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out and the inning is over. C.C. Lee gets his man. We'll go to the bottom of the eighth. 8-2 Cleveland. We go to the bottom of the eighth inning. This Sunday afternoon crowd enjoying the Indians' offensive onslaught here today. New pitcher for the Astros, Jorge De Leon, ninth appearance. He's got Nick Swisher, Jason Kipnis, and Carlos Santana. Swisher 0 for 3, drove in a run with a sac fly his last time up. 5 out of 13 in the series. Swisher hits one in the air to left. Trevor Crowe is there. One down. In-game Brock score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. Michael Bourne, a big 2-run triple. Kipnis, Santana going extra bases. Big guy today, Michael Brantley, though. A couple of big hits. Driving in runs, sparking the Indians today. But another game where a lot of different people have had a hand in it. Jason Kipnis looks, it's up high, ball one.
The big inning certainly helped him today. 3-run fourth, a 4-run sixth.
Well, Jason Kipnis with hits in 3 straight at bats here today. And a strike called. And the count is 1-2. Kipnis strikes out. And there are 2 down in the 8th. That will bring up Carlos Santana. His RBI double in the 4th inning got the Indians on the board today. And they've never looked back since. They were down 2-0, but once they scored, they've pretty much put the hammer down. Want to know the count? Santana slugs it to deep right field. Gone! Home run number 19 for Carlos Santana. Perhaps an exclamation point on the Indians' 6th 4-game sweep of the season as he makes it 9-2.
His 19th homer, and I mean that was a laser shot. That looked like a low fastball, and that got out of here in a hurry. Watch the swing. Oh, man. That thing was right on a line. His 19th, it's a 9-2 game.
Matt Carson gets his first at bat of the day. The 1-1. Carson ropes it to third, and it's caught by Dominguez. Boy, does that guy get after it, doesn't he?
Yes, he
Every
does.
ball he hits hard.
Yeah, he does.
Finally makes it out, but Santana hits one out. 9-2 Cleveland. Stay tuned for Indians Live, brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. It's coming up next right here on Sports Time Ohio. Ninth inning, Tribe in command 9-2, and Carlos Carrasco will be coming on now to finish things up for the Indians.
Eighth pitcher for the Indians today, Carrasco, coming on for the 15th time. He's done a pretty good job out of the bullpen. The Indians, 13 hits on the afternoon, 9 runs. 4 extra base hits. We're going to have Jose Ramirez staying in the ball game, coming in for Jason Kipnis.
And Matt Dominguez to lead it off. Couple of hits on the day. Swung on and missed. Rick, what do you got on the grip there?
It looks like it's an interlock, like it's a golf swing right here, where he's got that one finger with the baby finger, and that looks like a golf swing to me.
Grounds out here, 1 away. The executive producer for Sports Time Ohio is Tom Farmer. Our coordinating producer for Indians baseball, Steve Warren. Today's game produced by Jim Murphy, directed by Pat Murray. Indians Live is produced by Mike Bachman. Our associate producers are Mike Pachta and Steve Bardo. Technical director Dan Larson, creative consultant Mark Koha. Stage manager Gary Coach, Tom Vashenik crunching all the numbers. Bill Schnack, Mike Grignon and company take care of the sound work. Our cameras operated by Brian McDermott, Kerry Cams, Joe Gamallo, Jimmy Orek, Chris Madden, Mark Shapiro, Johnny Gorsica, Gene Anderson, Mitch Hayden, Igor Klobos, Frank Schubert. All season long, these folks do a tremendous job for us, and we thank each and every one of them. Trevor Crow, 0 for 3 on the day, 0 for 12 in the series. And a drive to deep center field that Michael Bourne will run down 2 away. Two down, and L.J. Hose is the batter for Houston. The largest Sunday crowd of the season. Enjoying it here this afternoon. The Indians came into the series knowing one thing. They had to take care of business. And they've gone about it in business-like fashion. A couple of 2-1 wins, a 4-1 victory, and now here today, busting loose and leading at 9-2. Foul back. Low, ball 1 to even the count. Congratulations to Clevelander Brian Hoyer and the Hoyer family in general. He quarterbacked the Cleveland Browns to a win in Minnesota this afternoon. It's a final. The Browns beat the Vikings 31-27. And here's a liner towards center that Bourne will play it on a hop. And the game stays alive for the moment as Hose has his first hit today, 3rd hit in the series. And it will give Carlos Corcoran a chance to bat here in the 9th inning. Hoyer threw the game-winning touchdown pass in the final minute for the Browns today in Minnesota. It's going to be a good day all the way around for Cleveland sports fans. Carlos Carrasco ready, and the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, nothing in 2 the count. Texas, Kansas City, by the way, still scoreless, and they're in the 8th inning now in Kansas City. While Tampa Bay is closing in on another win over Baltimore. Just about knocking the Orioles completely out of the thing. Two-strike pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. The Indians have done it. They have swept a 4-game series for the 6th time this year. You talk about some history. There it is for you. Most 4-game sweeps since 1954 for the Indians. An incredible feat all season long. They've been able to put the hammer down when they've had to. And a win today gets them to a season-high 16 games over 500 at 86-70. They've won 9 out of 11, and they will maintain their stranglehold on one of those 2 American League wild card spots. 9-2 the final. Corey Kluber went 5 1/3 innings for the Indians today. He'll get his 10th win of the year. And the loss to Eric Bedard, who drops to 4-12 on the season. Time now for our key play of the game, brought to you by KeyBank.
Well, let's go back. 4th inning. Micah Vilas is going to get a key base hit right here, so the Indians take the lead. It was with 2 outs, and watch the slide of Cabrera coming in as Bourne is telling him to get out of the way. Move to the inside. He does that. The Indians take the lead. They never look back. KeyBank is proud to be the banking home of the Cleveland Indians. Visit your local branch today.
We'll be back with some final thoughts as the Indians win it today 9-2.